Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout as we look ahead to game week 1 of the 2025-26 season. My name's Joe and as ever I'm joined by Fantasy Football Scout editor Neale to discuss the latest team news and injury developments. Neale, welcome. How are you?
Good, Joe. Good to be back. Full of busy. Normal sort of Friday in terms of press conferences. We had 7 yesterday, but we've just finished the round of 13 that we've had today. So I think I've got everything in place, ready to go.
Great stuff. Yes, I've seen a lot of the information so far, so I managed to cobble together quite a bit. Just before we go on, just a reminder, do press that like button. It does help us out. And do remember to subscribe, keep up to date with our latest videos and podcasts. And do check out fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for latest membership offers for get access to all the latest tools, gadgets and articles to help you climb up your mini leagues. Also, welcome to all of those, hundreds of you that have joined us in the live chat. Tony, Barry, Omar, Astral Vale, Chris, Double Pivot, Shanio, Marco, Andersoni, and many, many more. You've joined us from Denmark, Norway, Finland, Blackpool, and you join and Australia as well, and we join you from Somerset and the Northeast respectively. So let's move on. Let's go over to Merseyside. Is tonight's game Liverpool against Bournemouth? What is the latest from Arne Slot?
One of 7 press conferences we had yesterday. It's fairly quiet on the injury front. He wasn't asked about Conor Bradley. It was, of course, his Frimpong's positional rival, but he hasn't been seen in training in midweek, so we think he's still out. And previously, Slot had said that it would be tight for him to be fit for the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Joe Gomez could be back on the bench tonight. He's been in training, and he was the only other injury other than Bradley. Gravenberg is suspended, though he'll be out of this one. McAllister's had a bit of a stop-start pre-season on the fitness front. He is fit, according to Slot.
Okay, righty-o. So, and then for Bournemouth as well. So, a much changed back line because, well, it will be because they've sold everyone. So, what's the latest there? And also, Cliver, he was going into this as a doubt, so don't know if he's going to feature. Yeah, lots to say about Bournemouth, I imagine.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it could be an entirely different back line if they go with Araujo over Smith at right back. So, injuries and suspensions. Lewis Cook has both. He's both banned and injured, so he can't feature. Enes Ünal's still out as well. He's been out since January and he's remained so. Ryan Christie's back in training, but this match comes a little bit too soon for him. And Clive, he's the big one, obviously, as you mentioned there. He is still out of training. This calf injury he's got has taken much longer than anticipated to recover from. So he is not even in training yet, and he's out of this one. There were updates as well on Sinistera and Dango. Sinistera has been injured, is back in training. Their availability has nothing to do with injuries, though. It's to do with leaving the club. Dango's on his way to Brentford. We think Sinistera's on his way out too. They have got an incoming. They've got a few, mostly at the back. One of them, the most recent one, Bafodia Diakite. He's a centre-half. He's physically fit, according to Iraola. He just only trained 2 days with Bournemouth this week. But he's yet to decide if he's going to throw him into the cauldron at Anfield. So James Hill might get a stay of execution there at centre-half, the $4 million defender. But longer term, obviously, he's going to be out the side.
Okay, so this could be good news for those investing in Liverpool attack. Obviously, Salah's going to be well captained. Gakpo, you'd imagine, be starting. Wirtz in a number 10. New striker up front. Could be good for Liverpool. No wonder that I think the bookies have put them as the most likely to score 2+ goals this week. So that's probably because Bournemouth have a new look back line. Let's move to, for me, was the biggest news that I was waiting on to shape my entire team, which was whether Morgan Rogers was fit for Aston Villa. So, Aston Villa, is Morgan Rogers fit?
He is, by all accounts, yeah. I've yet to hear it from Emery's mouth, but one of the reporters who was present there said he has been past fit. And we do know he's been training this week, so it was only a minor injury. It was only sustained just over a week ago. He missed last weekend's doubleheader of friendlies, but he has trained since. We think he's all right. Martinez is suspended, and the only injuries they've got are 2 players that wouldn't have featured anyway. That is Ross Bartley and Andres Garcia.
Rightio. And as for Newcastle, so your team, a lot of turmoil on the transfer front. Isak's still there as a player, but will
Yes.
he play?
No, he will not. He's not training with a group, so and he's a long way from doing so. I think I'm not sure we'll see him again in a Newcastle shirt, but he's not going to be involved in this one, obviously. The only injury Newcastle have got is Joe Willock, who's out for another few weeks or so. But Anthony Gordon is fine by the sounds of it. He twisted
Okay.
his ankle last weekend in the final friendly, but pretty soon after that game, House said it was nothing much. And then today he says that Willock is his only absentee.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we think Gordon will start up front.
Yeah, got to be up front. Yeah,
Okay.
he'll not be Willis Sula. I can tell you that.
When I've done a team reveal video with Tom, who's an Aston Villa fan, the deputy editor, Fantasy Football Scout, he's been anticipating lots of Villa goals in this. Are you, as a Newcastle
I
fan,
agree.
also anticipating a lot of Villa goals?
Exactly. Yeah, Mark's very glass half empty, a Newcastle fan, but I agree with his assessment here. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's move on to my team, Brighton, against another team. My team doesn't do very well against historically. Brighton against Fulham. Yeah. There's once again, like your team, Brighton. A few transfer tussles. Lots of teams want their players. A lot of teams can't afford their players though, like Manchester United. But what is the latest at Brighton?
It's very good. Yeah, there's only two injuries, only two declared injuries anyway by Hertzler, and that is Webster and March. We do know that, and Caesar's another one. He's out with an knee injury, but he's sort of surplus to requirements
Okay.
anyway. Other than that, it's just fitness, really, match fitness. Some of the new lads getting up to speed, especially the younger ones. So Tom Watson, who's come from Sunderland, and then the two young Greek strikers whose name I will not try and butcher. They are all in, I think, adaptation phases was one of the
Yes.
phrases
Phase of
Herschel threw around this
adaptation.
morning. That's the one. That's the one. So we won't see them for a little while. I think they combined for about 5 preseason minutes, those three.
Yeah.
Belieber is fit. He missed the back end of preseason with an injury,
Yeah.
but he is in a good place, according to Hertzler, and he said he was very, very confident that he's going to be there at the end
Yeah.
of August.
Yeah, they're putting their foot down. I mean, basically, we were washed with money thanks to Chelsea anyway, so we don't need to sell a lot of these players. Just whether they want to go and Belieber, they don't think he'll quite be that Isak situation. I think he'll end up playing if he's got some kind of guarantee he might go at some point. And also, he's going to, in terms of Europe and standing and money and training facilities, he'd be going to a worse team at Manchester United, but I'm sure that would be there. So yeah, I confident he'll play. Those three young players there, they're going to be eased in. So we'll start seeing them in some cup competitions, and some point late autumn, I would imagine we're going to start seeing them, possibly starting regularly. And a lot of people are going for Ruta. Is he going to be in your starting lineup? I think he's going to be either the 9 or the 10. I think he's going to start somewhere,
Exactly.
one of those two.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Exactly. Yeah.
whether he'll be backed up with O'Reilly or he will back up
Yeah.
Welbeck. It'll be one of those two. What do you think?
Yeah, I've not finalised the lineup, but Hertzler's last two friendly lineups was basically that, wasn't it? Ruter up top with O'Reilly in behind. He could be throwing a curveball with Welbeck, but as you say there, Ruter will. I think he's the favourite in that 10 position if he's not up top. I think Hertzler fancies a lot more than he does O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Trusts him, I think, with a press and stuff like that. So I think, he'll feature. It's just a matter of where.
Yeah, and I just want the last thing I wanted to mention. We'll move on to Fulham. It's just with João Pedro going to Chelsea, that means penalties are up in the air. Hertzler was asked about that, I understand, and I think he said he smiled and said we will see. And apparently they've been practicing them, so it will basically probably be one of O'Reilly, Kuiper could take them, Ruter possibly. Welbeck, obviously.
Welbeck, yeah.
So I think realistically it's going to be between Welbeck and O'Reilly, which was on the pitch, and if neither of them are, then it is up in the air. But anyway,
Yeah, they both took one at the back end of last season, didn't they? Young O'Reilly and Welbeck as well. So yeah, I think Welbeck maybe seniority will make a difference there. I think.
right, Fulham fans. Right, let's go to Fulham. What's the latest from Fulham?
Yeah, it's all about the left backs. Robinson's out still. He had knee surgery over the summer, but he's nearly fit. Not quite ready for this one. And Sessegnon, who did play there last weekend and had much of pre-season, he hobbled off after I think 22 minutes or so for the final pre-season friendly. But he has trained a little as of yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and Silva was going to make a late call on him to see whether he would come through it.
Okay,
So that's
right,
it.
yeah, so up front, Jimenez, you would imagine?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Based
Yeah.
on the last couple of preseason friendlies, yeah.
Yeah, he scores against Brighton. Okay, Tottenham against Burnley. Tottenham look great against PSG, apart from the last 5 minutes, but it is PSG. Burnley are different, so if they could do that, replicate that 85 minutes, they could do very well against Burnley, or at least keep a clean sheet. But yeah, what is the latest for Spurs as they take on this promoted side?
It's much the same as it was in midweek team news wise. So Dogi hasn't recovered in time. He's getting closer, but he's not quite ready. And then there's the longer term ones as well. So Kulusevski, Dragusin, and Madison, who's very long term, they're all out. Manor Solomon is only just back in training after missing all of pre-season, so he won't feature. I think they've got Koto Takai out as well, a new centre half. Apart from that, I think everyone is fit who was fit for PSG. Solanke came back on Wednesday.
Okay.
He appeared off the bench. Basuma is off the naughty step too. He was banished from the squad for some sort of off the field indiscretion, and he has returned now to the fold.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's a lot of quotes on the team news roundup on the site about transfer targets, why Johnson didn't get off the bench, Kudus' preferred position. So I'll refer everyone to that.
Yeah. Okay. So we think Johnson will play this one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
So
we'll change formation, go back to a more attack lineup. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, and Porro. So do we think that because under Frank at Brentford, basically against the tougher teams like PSG in a way, he would do a sort of three at the back, wing backs, which he pretty much did against PSG. But
Yeah.
against the easier sides, the sort of your jobbing Premier League mid-table
Yeah.
lesser sides, it went back to sort of four at the back, then a three and a three. So do you think that's sort of going to be the norm for most matches?
Actually, Frank did a lot less of that last season. It was almost entirely either like the 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1,
Okay,
however you want
right.
to describe
Okay.
it. But historically, you're right. Yeah, he did when Brentford first came up, first couple of seasons, he did do that. The big six, it was a wing back system, and in everybody against everybody else, it was the four at the back, more attacking lineup. So it was a bit of a throwback. I mean, to what he used to do at Brentford. So yeah, he will do that on occasions. I think against possibly against like City and Liverpool, but.
Okay.
At home at Burnley, it'll be Dancer dropping out, I'm sure, and Johnson coming in.
Okay. FPL Spartans in the live chat just wanted you to confirm something, and I'm sure this is the case. With the quotes about Rogers being fit, that's directly from Emery rather than someone reporting on Emery.
That's from someone reporting on Emery. Yes, I mentioned
Okay.
at the start. I hadn't actually heard it out of Emery's mouth. This was Jacob Tanville of the Athletic.
Okay.
He was reporting on it, so I will get the quote hopefully from Emery after this. But I've not seen the press conference all the way through yet. Only snippets of it.
The only thing I saw was that as he was talking about injuries, he sort of did a few because he was talking about I think Barkley was injured, another one, and he was saying, "I'm glad it's not three, few," as in he'd said Rogers is fit. So the implication is that Rogers is fit. So. Yeah, but as I said, refer back to the website Fantasy Football Scout, and Neale will have the full sort of quotes there. But yeah, it's 99.99999% recurring that Rogers will play. Burnley, what's the latest from them?
Parker said he's already got two injuries. In fact, no, he didn't. He didn't say anything of the sort, but we do know there are two. And Amdouni and Humphreys are the two. He said that there was no injury concerns, is what he actually said yesterday. But we've had Parker on top flight before, and he has been a bit weird with giving updates.
Okay.
We know that Roberts and Fleming have been out over the summer with various fitness issues. Just last weekend, he'd said that Dubravka, Brozier, and Ogochukwu were doing individual training after arriving late, although signed late in the window close at the start of the season. So he isn't always forthcoming with injury updates, but he didn't mention anything yesterday. We do know that Amdouni and Humphreys are out.
Okay. So Electric Steve is very popular. He's should be starting, you would imagine.
Yeah. Whatever system he plays, whether it's the back four, the back five he saw against last weekend, which I think he'll go with against Spurs. Esteve was never present starter last season, and I'm sure he will be part of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, he's on my bench as well. I'm sure he'll be on many people's bench ready to go in Game Week 2 should he be needed. Let's move on to another promoted side, Sunderland's first home game of their Premier League campaign for this time around against West Ham, the latest from Sunderland. Lots of new players come in for them. So, yeah, probably lots to talk about.
Yeah, including a well-owned £4.5 million forward, Mark Giu. I'll start with the injuries first. Alice, Union, Sirkin, and Hjelde, they're all out for the first 3 game weeks of the season. And Mundel's out until October. So they're the 5 red flags. The new signings, Alderete, Masuaku, and Giu. He hinted that they'll be in the squad, but only as substitutes. He said it might be a little bit tough to start because of their fitness level. So I think they'll be on the bench.
Okay, rightio. Just before we go to West Ham, just wanted to clarify with Burnley because I saw the flag had come off Dubravka once again on my bench. Some people are bench boosting, so that could actually be quite key, trying to get an extra couple of points from him. So Dubravka, we think will start, or is it still a bit up in the air?
I think it's still very much up in the air. Yeah, he had a little bit of a shoulder issue before he left Newcastle.
Okay.
I think he had an injection. And Parker said last week that it was him, Ugochukwu, and Broja training individually. Ugochukwu was the closest, he said, of the 3 to featuring, and Ugochukwu had featured in a behind closed door game for 60 minutes, whereas Dubravka hadn't. So I think it's a bit up in the air. Very much going into this weekend.
Okay. Why does his flag come off? Is he?
Because it was just match fitness, and Parker said yesterday that there was no injury, so FPL go for that.
Okay, fair enough. West Ham, what's the latest
there? Just 2 absentees, Somerville and Earthy. Everyone else is fine.
Yeah, Earthy had a good... he was on loan at Bristol City, I think, last time out, and had a good... was very good there. Somerville, perennially out for West Ham in his career. So rest fit there, so good news for those investing in. Gif, Bowen and Wan-Bissaka, I would say, would probably be the 3 big ones as well. There, I've seen Souček in a few teams actually. Is Souček likely to play?
He wasn't starting the last 2 friendlies, so I'd be very aware. He's got up $1 million as well. He's one of the ones I would avoid at the start of the season.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's great. He's not on my team, but just if you got Souček, end those dreams. Right? Yeah.
I mean, last 2 friendlies, I think it's been Potts, Ward-Prowse, and Paqueta in the midfield. So, yeah.
Okay, rightio. Okay, we'll move on to Wolves against Man City. I've got no Man City in my side, and I'm actually quite nervous. But, they priced it well this year, so no room for them. Let's go with Wolves first, because they've lost their 2 best players, one of which ain't Nori, to Man City. What shape could they possibly be in for this?
I didn't hear anything on the injury front from Pereira. Not that we were expecting anything anyway. The only flag I think they've got is Chiwomi, who's been out since January. But they have obviously lost a lot of players. Cunha's gone, and the 2 wing backs as well. And from what I've seen in the pre-season, and from a lot of Wolves fans, they have definitely not replaced those with players of better or even equal quality. I think the jury's still out on Mola Wolf. He's only just signed. He's more defensive than Nori. But on the right, they're still seeking a Semedo replacement, and they've got. Whoever they're playing at the moment, who is definitely not up to the required level. So Nori could have an absolute field day down that flank.
Okay, rightio. As for Man City, we've only seen one friendly I think they've had, but so it's a bit up in the air. But yeah, we've had some definite news about Game Week 1 for Gvardiol.
We have, he was quite helpful this afternoon. He's ruled 3 out, and 2 of them have got a good chance. So 2 of them will travel. So the 3 that are out, we knew about Kovacic already. We didn't know about the other 2. We knew Gvardiol wasn't playing last weekend against Paloma. We didn't know the reasons why. And now Guardiola has confirmed that Gvardiol is out of this one. There's no time for him as yet. Savinho is out as well amid speculation over his future. He's out for a few weeks. At least we have got a timeline there. So those are the 3 that are red flagged now. The 2 that have got a chance and are travelling actually to Molineux. Phil Foden, who had a minor ankle knock last weekend, he's back. And Rodri as well, who earlier in the week Pep had said he wouldn't be really ready until after the international break. I think that was misreported because he did say that he would feature in some games before then. He just meant he wouldn't be completely
Okay.
up to speed, I think, until mid-September. But they're both travelling to Wolves, and then Pep's going to make a call on their involvement when they get down there.
Okay, and so what's happening in goal as well? Because they've re-signed Trafford rather. I think he's been given the number 1 jersey. Ederson's still there, but being linked with Galatasaray. Ortega, I don't know about. Is Scott Carson even there? And they're looking for the PSG goalkeeper to join them.
Yeah.
So what is the latest, and what can we glean from what will be game week 1? And if the answer to that is Trafford's, can he be expected to start for more than this week?
Well, I don't know because obviously if they bring Donnarumma in, then you would expect him to have the shirt. Wouldn't be sitting on the bench. I'd steer well clear of all of them. Yeah, Carson's gone. Ortega will go. Ederson. I mean, Pep said this afternoon that Ederson has not come to him and said he wants to leave, so he's still part of the group. So as far as we're aware, that's won't affect the thinking this weekend. But yeah, I mean, we've still got 2 weeks and a bit till the end of the transfer window. I would just steer clear of every City goalkeeper until then if you're FPL manager.
Okay.
Not that many people are running them anyway, and then reassess after it shuts.
Okay, obviously with Gvardiol out as well, that raises the minutes for Aït-Nouri.
Definitely.
Let's say. Let's go for Chelsea Crystal Palace. Now, some interesting news from Chelsea today that actually made me change my team slightly. And I got a 4.5 defender in that I had not even considered once, ever, in FPL. But he's there sitting in my team, and I'm going to play him in game week 1. Who am I talking about there? And yeah, what's the latest with Chelsea, particularly their back line?
I know exactly what you're talking about there. Yeah, Tosin Adarabioyo. So this sort of stems from Levi Colwill picking up an injury. He's going to be out long term with a knee problem. And Badia Shield's still out as well. He's another centre half option. And Lavia, on top of that, he's a midfielder. The reason why Tosin's picked up a little bit of interest is because of the press conference this morning where Maresca said that of the 64 games they played last year, they played 64 with either Colwill or Tosin as the centre half, the build-up centre half. And Colwill's out.
Yeah.
Which just leaves them with Tosin. So until they buy a replacement, and they probably will buy a replacement, I should hasten to add that Maresca said that himself in the press conference. The club knows what I think about central defenders.
Yeah.
So he wants another one. But in the interim, until they get someone else in, Tosin might get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 game weeks worth of starts.
Great.
And then we'll see after that.
Okay. I'll take that.
So those are the 3 absentees: Colwill, Badiashile, and Lavia in terms of injuries. They've also got 2 suspensions: Jackson and Mudryk. Although by the sounds of it, Jackson's done at Chelsea regardless. Chalobah's fine. He came off against Milan last week, but he's all right. And Fofana, who's been out for all of the summer, he's returned to training and could feature probably from the bench in game week 1.
Okay, so we're looking. So those like me that've gone for Tosin, we're looking at probably three weeks, possibly even more, because whoever they bring in has got to be, got to adjust, and they've got to be of a quality as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's mentioned that like other centre halves at the club can't really do the job.
Okay.
Like what Tosin and Colwill can, so it's not like he's going to shift anybody else over there in the meantime. But yeah, they'll probably go with someone experienced. I think they'll not bring in a youth product like the Hato that's done it at left back. I think it'll be someone experienced. So it'll be, I think, a short-term thing for Tosin, but that might be enough for people.
Okay, rightio. As for Crystal Palace, now transfer speculation for Mark Gahey to Liverpool. Eze, I think it's 18th is the deadline for triggering his release clause. I think it runs out, on the 18th. But I know Spurs are interested in him. But yeah, so will they play amidst all this speculation?
Glasner says they've trained this week with the team, so as far as he's aware, they're available for selection for Sunday. They've got 6 players out. I mean, most of them probably wouldn't have featured anyway. Let me just rattle the list and find them. Nketiah is one. He's out until, I think, October with a hamstring injury. He's a backup striker. And the other ones are kind of backups as well. Franca, he's out. Kapora, he's out. Chadi Riyad, centre-half, Czech Decore in midfield. They're both legacy from last season. And the newest injury probably would have started. Daichi Kamade picked up a knee problem in the Community Shield. It's just a short-term one. He'll probably be back next week. but it's enough to rule him out. So probably Will Hughes coming in for him.
Okay, just someone in the live chat was saying that Hato, the new guy at Chelsea, can play centre back and left back. Yes, but he can't play that central centre back role.
No.
And
Yeah.
Maresca was very clear. He's basically got
He
two
said that,
players, and one's got an ACL, and the other one's Tosin. So until they get someone else in, there's literally no one else. So they will get someone else in because he can't play every single match. Well, there is going. Okay, let's move on to Nottingham Forest against Brentford. So what's the latest from Nottingham Forest? And I saw some reports that the manager's a bit downbeat about this season.
Yeah, this was a clear message to the board. This about him wanting new players. I haven't seen any injury news. I don't think yet. I'll revisit this one. I do know that Dominguez is out. Nuno mentioned him in passing. I think he's going to be out for another 2 or 3 months. But yeah, the most of the press conference was about Nuno whinging about his lack of players. I mean, that's been addressed. I think they're about to sign 4 new ones. McAtee and Hutchinson are coming in. There's a new striker as well. If you're a Wood owner, just be worried about that. I don't know who the 4th is, but they're definitely after fullbacks as well. But yeah, Nuno said he's concerned about the game against Sunday because we are short of options.
Okay.
And that's our major concern. And then he went on to list the positions thereafter. So goalkeeper, that'll be obviously back up to Sells. Fullbacks, again, competition for Aina and Williams, and they're playing again in Europe, so they'll need backups there. They're all right for centre halves, he says. Midfield they need because Dominguez is injured and Danilo's gone.
Yeah.
On the wings they need, he says, because they've only got Hudson-Odoi and Ndoi, who's a new signing. And then he said up front we've got Igor Jesus, Chris Wood, Awani, but we might need another body on top of that. And they're going to get this new signing.
Okay.
Up front, so plenty of people incoming, but just not ready yet.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think I've already got Sells now. But yeah, I'll invest in Nottingham Forest at some point. Attack maybe. I don't know who's going to play. Let's go with Brentford as well. Kelleher got interest. You got Wissa as well. Transfer speculation going on there, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, what's happening with Brentford? I think. Oh, and there's a new recruit from Bournemouth. I understand.
Yes, there is. Yeah, Dangle is on his way. I'm not sure will he be ready for this one. But yes, they've got Ewan Wissa, who's doing a bit of an Isak. He's 1 to away and won't feature this weekend. Andrews ruled him out yesterday. Injury-wise, they've got Janelt, Gustavo Nunes, and Paris Migoma are all out. And then the 2 doubts, yeah, Kelleher and Kevin Schade. Andrews last weekend said there were precautionary omissions from that final friendly against Mönchengladbach. They've been on the grass since... and Andrew says a late decision will be made on their involvement. So on the grass could mean anything, could be individual training, could mean full training. We're not really sure if Andrews plays mind games because this is his first managerial job, so we're still sussing him out. So he could be just trying to pull the rug from under Nuno. But they are still 75% flagged, Schade and Kelleher. Schade's been out a little bit longer as well, so I think even if he is fit, they might start with Lewis Potter on the left. Kelleher, he only missed the 1 friendly. I think he was actually present there as well. He was just he was actually in the stadium. So hopefully he's not badly injured, but I can't give you much more insight than that.
Okay, let's go for a Manchester United against Arsenal. So the manager at Manchester United has promised a better season. Has to be, because they don't get any worse. Well, apart from get relegated. But yeah, what shape are they in for game week 1, which is a terrible start for them against Arsenal?
They're not in too bad shape, actually. The only 2 they've got out are Martinez and Mazraoui. So they've welcomed back Anana and Xerxes this week into training, so they're both available. Sesko is, according to Amorim, physically ready to start as well. Whether he will or not, obviously, Amorim wasn't saying. Don't want to give anything away to Arsenal, but it's just those 2 who you mentioned there who are out, so that's Martinez and Mazraoui.
Okay, rightio. Sesko, yeah. So but always the same with Manchester United attackers. They're so, as a team, got so many fans globally. As soon as there's a hint of an attacker who's exciting there, they go for them. So Saka is physically ready to start, but do you think he will?
Sesko.
Yeah, sorry, Sesko, yeah.
Sesko, yeah. I don't know, actually. That's one of the team news I haven't actually finalised yet. I'll have to look into that. He went with Mount up top last weekend in the friendly, and Sesko wasn't involved in that one. He wasn't. He just signed on the morning of that game, so he hasn't had any minutes yet.
Okay.
If at this moment, without looking into it further, my inkling will be he'll come off the bench.
Okay.
But I'll look into it a bit more after this.
Okay. And as for Arsenal, they've got a new striker as well. You and anticipate that he would start. Yeah, a few. You would imagine a few might go, but Trossard, for example, is still there.
He is, and he might be in the squad. He's the only real injury doubt for the weekend, but even he, I think Arteta said he's expected to be available. Just a niggly groin. The only one red flag they got is someone they've been without for a long, long time. That's Gabriel Jesus. He's still got a knee injury. So everyone else is pretty much fit, I think, to varying degrees. Gabriel and Timber, they had missed a lot of pre-season, but they came back towards the end of, I think it was the end of July, beginning of August. And they both had one substitute appearance and one start apiece. Calafiori and Havertz, they missed out a little bit towards the end of pre-season, but they were back as well in that final kickabout. And it's because of Havertz being out, I think, that Gyökeres is probably fast-tracked his debut. I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta would have started the season with Havertz in a normal situation, but Havertz has been out himself for a little while, and Gyökeres has started already, so he might do so again against United.
Okay, just under 1,500 of you watching. Thank you so much. Final matchup: Leeds against Everton. I'm bizarrely fielding two players, one from Leeds and one from Everton in my side. What's the latest from Leeds? I understand they might have a new striker.
They have. It's been confirmed this afternoon. Farke had sort of previewed it in his press conference, but now it's been rubber stamped. Calvert-Lewin, famously never injured striker, joins the ranks of more injury-prone strikers at Leeds, such as Nemecha, who's had an injury few couple of years. Bamford's another one, but he's actually surplus the requirements now. But anyway, he's coming aboard. Injury-wise, Bogle has been out for the last two friendlies, I think, but he's back in training. He's joined team training today fully for the first time. He was partly integrated yesterday. And this being on a Monday night as well, that helps a lot because he's got an extra 2 sessions that he wouldn't have had. So Saturday and Sunday and Monday, actually, the training on the morning of the game. So he's got plenty of training to get through before kick-off. So it's looking a bit more positive on him. Gvardiol is suspended, a carryover from his time in Italy. He's only out for one game, so he will be available again in Game Week 2. And from what I've heard from Leeds fans, they're expecting him to come into that lineup when he's available.
Okay.
Probably at the expense of Strike.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, so there's a couple of 4.0. I've got one of them. There's Rodon and Goodmanson, who should start in this game. Bear in mind, it is, Leeds United. I'm of an age where Leeds United are a big club, and this is their first game back. So you would imagine those two would start?
Yeah, I will put my as long as they're fit, there's no late injury. I will put my mortgage on that. I think they've only got one left back, really, in Goodmanson, and Rodon is going to start at centre half.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin I guess he could even start this against his old club.
I don't think he will. Well, he could. He'll be. I think registered in time, but he has not had much pre-season. I don't know where he's been training because obviously Everton released him.
Okay.
So it'll be Pirro up top, or and then a slight chance for being Nemecha, but I think it'll be Pirro.
Okay, yeah. So Pirro, not a long-term option. As for Everton, quite a few players coming in. I was all set to play Tarkowski, but then I saw that Branthwaite is injured. That's been confirmed today, I understand.
It has, yes. Rumours of it came about on Wednesday, I think, and then Moyes was very knocked this afternoon because he didn't want that information leaked, but he has now confirmed it anyway. So Branthwaite is out. The other three who were flagged, he didn't rule out. He said we may have them back, and he was not really elaborating on that. So they were Harrison Armstrong with a thigh strain, Nathan Patterson with hernia symptoms, so that's been confirmed as a hernia. They wouldn't have started anyway. Somebody who definitely would have is Mikolenko. He came off, I think, after 10 minutes of that friendly against Roma last week, and we only got a vaguely positive update from Moyes this afternoon. But I think he was not revealing anything because he was huffed at the Branthwaite information coming out in the public domain.
Okay,
so,
rightio.
There we go.
Meanwhile, with their attack as well, so do we think it's going to be Barry or Broja? Because I've seen both of them in some teams.
It'll not be Broja because he's at Burnley now, but
Sorry, not
Barry
Broja.
or
I meant to say Beto. I meant to say
Beto, yeah.
Beto. Apologies, everyone.
Yeah,
Beto, Beto.
this is a tricky one actually. I think Beto, but Moyes is quite lukewarm on him. He gave him an earful in pre-season, said he need to do better in the summer series. Barry had his first start last weekend and looked a little bit off it, I thought,
Okay.
of what I saw the game, extended highlights. So Beto's probably the more match ready of the two, but I think there's too much uncertainty there to go near either of them, and I would again avoid doing so in FPL.
Oh,
I just would leave well alone until
okay.
we've seen who's established up there.
Dewsbury Hall is in my team, and I'd very much like him to play. You would imagine he will play in this, but probably as a number 8, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Moyes kind of sort of tweaked his formation towards the end of the pre-season. It looked more like a sort of 4-3-3 than the 4-2-3-1. Dewsbury Hall is a sort of an 8. He did play quite advanced actually in the last
Yeah.
friendly, but I think he'll be, yeah, because Grealish is just signed. I don't know how much ready he'll be. He might come off the bench.
Okay.
So I think it might be Ndai and Alcaraz wide with Garner, the other Garner, two
Yeah.
Garners
Yeah.
and a Dewsbury Hall in midfield.
Okay, rightio. Okay, that's interesting. I'll try and round up all this up. We usually do this in under half an hour, but we're a little bit over just because start of the season, there's so much news around that we've got to, and a lot of that transfer speculation we have to mention. Available, McAllister for Liverpool, Chalobah's back, Baleba should play for Brighton while he's available. Onana and Xerxes are back from Manchester United. Gahey and Eze, despite transfer speculation, should start. Trossard is available for Arsenal, and Morgan Rogers, that's the headline news, especially for my team. He'll be popular as well. He is fit. Questionable though, Bradley, muscle problems probably going to keep him out. Utara, just transfer speculation, as in like moving clubs. Sinistera as well, transfer speculation should keep him out. Kelleher has got a knock, may start, might not. Sessignon fitness problems. Muniz transfer speculation. I understand the manager said that he will not play. Gui has been seen in training for Sunderland on loan from Chelsea, but whether he starts or plays is another matter. Sesko could start. We don't know yet. Bogle got a hip problem, might keep him out. Could be back though. Gordon did have an ankle problem. We think he'll play though. Sort of in between available and questionable, but major doubt. The two young Greek lads up front for Brighton, they're just not ready there. I can't remember. It sounds like a prog rock album, as they said in the. I can't remember who it was. It said in the live chat in transition training or something like that. Out though, there's a lot here, and I'll do this as quick as I can. Gravenberg suspended, Cook suspended, Visser transfer speculation going to keep him out. Cliver fitness problems, Anthony Robinson's surgery is going to keep him out. Colwell ACL, he's out. That's why suddenly Tosin is of interest. A doggy knee problems going to keep him out. Madison ACL in training. No, in a friendly, I think it was, or training. Kulusevski, he's still out with a knee problem. Isak, transfer speculation will keep him out. Martinez, that's L. Martinez, knee problem will keep him out. Manchester United. Branthwaite is out with a hamstring problem. Martinez, that's E. Martinez, Aston Villa, he is suspended. Gvardiol, I'm not sure exactly what the injury is, but he's going to be out, and Kovacic as well. I think I've got most things there. Okay, thanks so much for that. We'll be back again next week. Good luck, Neale. Good luck, all of those watching and listening. The deadline is fast approaching, so I'll let you and everyone else go so you can do the last minute tinker for your teams and get all those Leeds and Everton players in like I have foolishly. Thanks for your time. Take care. See you soon.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.